Ian, first of all, can you give us your initial reaction to the final report being published today?
It's a hugely important document for Scottish football. I would like to start by reiterating my apologies, Chief Executive of the Scottish FA, to anyone who suffered abuse within our game. Martin Henry and the review team deserve enormous credit for their part in producing such a comprehensive piece of work. It is a milestone for Scottish football in terms of our work in the child wellbeing and protection area. But I think the most important outcome from today is that the survivors' voices are being heard and their narrative has been published.
There's been criticism in the delay of the publication. What can you tell us about that delay? And of course, do you sympathise as well with the survivors who've had to wait longer as a result?
The full report was delayed due to ongoing criminal cases. That allowed us to publish the interim report, which contained the recommendations and has let us make progress in those areas. There are ongoing civil cases which have required legal input and approval in terms of the final report. I absolutely sympathise with the survivors. They have waited a long time to have their voices heard and have their narrative read. The overriding ambition of the Scottish FA board was to ensure that the publication of the report was handled appropriately and sensitively, and it's important that we're able to do that.
What do you say to those who contributed directly in their personal accounts of abuse within Scottish football?
First of all, the abuse that they suffered should never have happened, and again I would reiterate our apology to anyone who suffered abuse within Scottish football. They should be very proud of the courage and bravery that they've shown to be part of this report. It's such a comprehensive piece of work and it wouldn't have the impact that it does without their narrative and without their input. The engagement that I have had with survivors outlines that their overriding ambition is that no one involved in Scottish football suffers the abuse that they did, and they should take great comfort from the fact that the report that we've been able to produce and the recommendations contained within it will go a long way to making sure that Scottish football was a safer environment than ever before.
And just touching on that, what assurances can you give parents of children playing the national game, and just how safe is Scottish football in 2021?
Through the work of our Child Wellbeing and Protection team, which is now overseen by an independent advisory board, through the work of our clubs right across Scottish football, I am absolutely confident that we have a framework in place to ensure the safety of all participants in Scottish football, not just players, but everyone else involved in the national sport.
Yeah, a number of recommendations in that report, of course, as well. Can you give us an update on those recommendations and the progress being made there?
Football is absolutely a safer place due to the report. There are a number of recommendations at this point in time. There are 80% of the recommendations either complete or in progress. But I think it's important that the recommendations aren't seen as a checklist. The report outlines that continual improvement across the areas of child wellbeing and protection are required. We can't look at the recommendations as once we tick all those off, that means Scottish football is as safe as it possibly can be. It is very much a work in progress. We need to adapt and be flexible to circumstances. We've seen in the last 9 months with the impact that COVID has had on the world, that the way football has been delivered has changed dramatically in some cases, and we have had to adapt to our processes and procedures to deal with that. So we are committed to the recommendations. As I said, we have undertaken a significant amount and will continue to do so to continue to make Scottish football safe.
And just finally, what do you hope can be achieved by the publication of this report and for the future safety of the game?
I would like everybody involved in football to read this report. And this isn't just about players or parents, this is about boardrooms, club staff, everybody involved in our game should read this report. It is a difficult subject, it is a really difficult read, and I say that first and foremost as a parent. But it's important that we understand what happened in the past so that we can best prepare ourselves to ensure that that doesn't happen in the future. And that has to be the overriding objective for Scottish football, to ensure that the horrific abuse that happened previously doesn't happen again, and everybody involved in our game has a part to play in that.